Hi everybody, I'm Fancy Nancy Drew. A little bit more on my name in a few minutes, but first, this is a reintroduction, if you will. Why is it a reintroduction? Well, two reasons. First of all, I've not posted anything on YouTube in a good year and a half, perhaps more. And second, how I got my start in YouTube and the direction that I was headed in is quite a bit different from where I am and where I'm headed now. So I thought only fair to kind of give you a recap and then talk about where I want to go. So I started posting videos on YouTube for my Usborne Books and More business. I was a consultant, and Facebook was allowing these virtual parties, and it just kind of seemed the way of the future. And being a consultant, oh, by the way, in case you aren't familiar, Usborne Books and More is a children's publishing company. It's an MLM business, and they publish the most amazing children's books on the planet. So while I'm no longer active with them, I still love the books. I will continue to promote them. But anyhow, so I was making videos of the books to share in these virtual parties. And I also started making training videos for my team. And I found both of these to be very effective. And I would recommend them to anybody who has a growing MLM business, or any business for that matter. So anyhow, fast forward a little bit, I added doTERRA essential oils to my plate. Again, I'm not really active with them, but I use the oils, I promote the oils. I would recommend them to anybody who's interested in a healthy lifestyle and perhaps isn't real keen on modern medicine. So anyhow, so I was making videos for my businesses and sharing them, and I thought maybe this would be my niche, promoting my businesses, as well as homeschool videos. I'm a homeschooling mom, and obviously that's a top priority to me. And so I started sharing some of our adventures, places that we went, things that we made. I also shared tips and tricks that had helped me with homeschooling and I thought might be effective for other parents. In addition, I allowed my youngest to post some of his videos, and I also posted videos of myself making a raised garden bed, and I posted my husband and I cleaning out our garage and helping a friend after he lost everything in a fire. So it really was just a wide variety of videos. And you hear all the time, you gotta have a niche, you gotta have a niche. So without a niche, I really wasn't going anywhere, and that was okay. So like I said, I kind of stopped, and in that year and a half since, almost 2 years, I guess, I have started my own business, and I started a business and then I kind of had to shelf it because shortly thereafter I had to go back to work full time. I'm still working full time. I'm still trying to work on my business as well as start some other businesses. I'm still homeschooling. It's much more difficult when you have a full-time job, but thankfully most of my kids are older and are fairly independent and can help out with my younger one. But you do what you have to and you make things work. So why am I sharing all of this? Because these are things that are important to me. Homeschooling is still a top priority, and I will probably still share some of our adventures or perhaps tips or things, especially now that things have changed and I am working full time. I love books, I love reading, I love education, so I'm sure that I will post book reviews in the future. As I said, I still use oils on a daily basis. I also follow a healthy eating regimen. I'm, for the most part, plant-based. I do eat fish. I work out. I don't think I've shared any of my fitness videos in the past, but I probably will be sharing things like that because since I posted last, I've lost 50 pounds. A healthy lifestyle is really important to me. So I will talk about books and oils and working out and just being healthy, and I will share homeschooling tips and adventures. But I'm also going to do things like talk about sports. I love all sports, but my favorite is football. And so as we get closer to football season, I'll start gearing up for it. In case you haven't caught on, I'm still keeping things really varied. I've just decided that having a niche isn't for me. That's who I am. I don't really care about following the rules. If I have to have a niche, then it's me. And maybe it's how I'm going to hustle my way through life and get to where I want to be. I was not a Viner. I'm not your typical YouTuber. I'm not a gamer. I'm not a prankster. I'm not a makeup artist. Um, I'm just going to find what works for me. And as I said, that could be anything from homeschooling to healthy lifestyle to book reviews. I may have friends and family over, and we are going to um, talk about mermaids and unicorns and drink vodka. and and then we're also going to talk about really serious matters, such as women's rights and what's going on with the abortion laws all over our country. You'll find that sometimes I'm going to share information, sometimes I'm going to share my experiences, sometimes I'm just going to share my opinion. I don't expect you to like my opinion, agree with my opinion, and honestly, that's okay. Uh, we're unique individuals, and it would be boring if we all had the same opinion. So I hope that there are people out there that are like-minded, that decide that they want to follow me, that I'm entertaining and informational. But I also look for people who maybe want to challenge me a little bit. I love to interact. So if you have a different opinion, share it in the comments. Let's talk. I would love to be able to have a question and answer day, whether I do that live or I just ask you all to post your questions in advance and then I share a video where I answer them. I haven't figured out which direction I want to go. I might try both formats and see what works best. I might incorporate some podcasts. I'm really kind of leaving everything open because I believe that the sky is the limit. And I just want to share a little piece of me and I want to get to know you. So to start, in the beginning, I shared my name as Fancy Nancy Drew. Obviously, that's not my birth name. My birth name is Nancy. And while I did not have the amazing nickname Fancy Nancy or Nancy Drew growing up, I won't even share the nicknames I had. First of all, I didn't care for my name. I still don't care for my name. Sorry, Mom. I love you. I know that you gave me that name based on my great, 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 great grandmother, Nancy Caroline. And technically, we're not even biologically related. But that's neither here nor there. I never cared for my name. I was the only little girl I knew that had that name. The only other Nancys I knew were adults, and so it was an icky name. I didn't like it. When I was 18 and about to graduate, my much younger cousin was learning my name, and it came out Fancy, and I absolutely loved it. But since then, let's see, an ex-boyfriend called me Fancy because he didn't like my name, and a really good friend called me and still calls me Fancy. Thank you, Vicky. I love you. But most people, I've just been Nancy or Nance. And in college, my best friend's mom started calling me Drew, and I love that. But again, these just weren't names that I had. I just always thought that was funny because Fancy Nancy not only has books, she has her own TV show, and I was around long before her. I always used Fancy before Nancy in my emails. So I'm either Fancy Nancy or Fancy Mama because I'm a mom now. And I loved reading Nancy Drew as a kid. So again, why couldn't I have been those things? And then I referenced a business that I started last year. Well, it's called Divine Designs by Drew. It's a clothing line, and I chose Drew. She's my alter ego. But at my full-time job, I have to wear a name tag. And so I have named myself Fancy Nancy Drew, and it gets all kinds of interesting questions and comments, and I love it. So that's my name, my real name and my made-up name and what I think about it. And I would love to hear from some of you. Tell me your name. Tell me your nicknames. Do you like your name? Did you change your name? Anyhow, I'm really looking forward to getting to know you and sharing everything that I'm passionate about in the future. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and make sure you hit the like button. Unless, of course, you don't like it, feel free to dislike. I'm okay with that. Have an amazing day.